The Nifty.Show.
If you grew up during the 70s, there is nothing that indicated you were a red-blooded male more than owning one of the probably millions of Farrah Fawcett posters that hung on the walls of of young boys and young men all over the country. Farrah was an icon and definitely the beauty queen of her era. And guess what? The image is back in the form of an NFT. And to talk about it today, we've got Peter Klamka, the CEO of More Management LLC. Peter, welcome to the Nifty Show.
Great to be here, Joel. Thank you for having me.
So for those who aren't familiar with the then famous Farrah poster, why don't you describe it for us?
So it is the best-selling poster of all time. 12 million of these were sold in the late 70s and early 80s. An original hangs in the Smithsonian next to the actual red bathing suit that she wore on this on the photo shoot. The photo shoot, yeah.
12 million. I had no idea it was that many. 12 million of them. And you know, for those of you who don't know the poster and you're listening to the show, you need to just go, to the website at farrahnft.com, FARRAH NFT.com, and see it. But for many of you, you're going like, oh yeah, I had one of those on my door. And all I can say is to the gratitude of many young men, it appeared to be cold in the room where she was doing the photo shoot.
The photo shoot was done outside in her house in Los Angeles. So maybe it was one of those chilly mornings in LA, right? And the photo
feeling a bit nippy out here.
And all these years later, you're still grateful for that.
I am. It hung on the back of my door in my room as a teenage boy. Let's see, what year would it have been released?
76, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, I would have been 12, 13 years old. It was right around that time, right? That's when the change, all of a sudden we start noticing girls, and everybody noticed Farrah. 12 million posters, and of course she is a pop culture icon. And so how did this surface again to become an NFT collection?
So interestingly enough, she owned the copyright and participated in all of those 12 million sales. And so we started developing as a company NFTs for the estates of various dead celebrities, for lack of a better word. And we had a huge success with Chris Farley. And then we were approached by an attorney who handles various rights for dead celebrities. And we actually went after the Farrah poster. I just believe that it would be the perfect NFT, the perfect on-ramp for people who want or interested in the space, but they don't quite know how to get in, or they don't know, none of the art appeals to them. This evokes your childhood. This evokes your teenage years. And then there's the whole Americana aspect to it. So we pursued the foundation, seeing that this was just a huge opportunity to on-ramp new people into the NFT space.
Well, and it obviously evoked much more than that for a lot of young males. She was just the icon of desirability. She was this all-American with this long flowing hair and this beautiful smile and a wonderful body. And she's in a swimsuit. And this shoot, nobody would have ever guessed that they would have sold this many. I mean, somebody had a great idea. They're like, hey, Farrah's super hot right now. Everybody's talking about her. Charlie's Angels, the TV show, is a huge hit and people are tuning in for her. But I don't think anybody ever dreamed that they would sell 12 million of these.
Never. In their wildest dreams, they would have never guessed 12 million, but it was literally a worldwide phenomenon that continues to this day. We put out the announcement. We got thousands of emails. Some of them were like, how do I buy it? Some of them were like, what's an NFT, but I have to have it. Some of them were, I had this in my dorm room, in the barracks, in my motor shop. I mean, there was so much interest in, and people always want to tell you the story, where I was when I saw it or what reaction I had to it. Most of them were like you.
Yeah. Not exactly sure what that means, but I'm going to go with it. So the poster is being re-released as an NFT, but there is some artsiness that's been placed on top of it by an artist of the name of Elise Swopes. Tell us about her.
Elise is a phenomenal artist. We probably interviewed 15 different artists across, mostly across the NFT and digital space. And we just clicked with Elise. You know, there were others who might have been a little bit more well known. There were others who had different ideas, but Elise just clicked. And, you know, she's had lots of success in the NFT space. She always sells out on Super Rare. She's worked for Coinbase and Apple and Cadillac and a number of leading companies. And it was just like an interesting fit that we found, you know, a 20-something woman who resonates with this poster, which is 99% male audience, and the 1% is buying it as a gift for the male in their life in the female side. But we just clicked. So she's developed 5 amazing interpretations that kind of update but still retain the spirit and the look of the original, because if you changed it too much, you know, the sequel wouldn't be as good. You know, people are expecting it to look and feel like the original, because what they're buying is they're buying back their youth. They're buying back the wherever they were when they bought that poster. That's what what's really driving this.
To be 12 again, right? And have some do-overs, knowing what we know now. Like, we'd be dangerous. Can you imagine if we actually had the wisdom and experience of, you know, an older man to be able to go back and have some do-overs? Boy, you would conquer the world very early.
You wouldn't have sold at 20,000. You wouldn't have married that girl. You would have done certain things a lot differently, at least in my case.
So I understand that an oversized version of the poster showed up in Vegas. Was it last week?
So Resorts World is our partner, meaning in the auction, somebody will win a 1-of-1 and an insane week at Resorts World. Resorts World has sort of become NFT central in Las Vegas. This is the first of a few collections that we're going to be debuting there. But yes, it is on the side. Will be on the side of Resorts World for the next 2 to 3 weeks. With inside, the rest of the collection is being exposed inside, and some of the digital spaces inside. They have a huge orb that they're displaying other parts of the collection on. So yes, it's all Farrah in Vegas at Resorts World for the next few weeks.
So how's the NFT being sold then? I heard you say auction. Does that mean there's just one of these, or are there?
There's a 1-of-1, which comes with a few versions of what you see behind me, and then 5 interpretations in a smaller limited edition. There's only going to be a maximum of a few hundred total of the edition.
Okay. So the auction it's an ETH, I'm assuming?
It's an ETH auction, although we've partnered with Circle to accept debit cards for the limited edition. So those who are new to the crypto space, who don't have ETH, can go with a credit card option. You can get this frame if you want for some of them, because everybody's asked, like, how do I display it? And this is a really easy, interesting way to display it. So we've sort of tailored the sale of the limited edition to be both for crypto, people who have crypto, who are experienced in the NFT space, and new people who have come on, who are interested in buying an NFT, most of the time for the first time.
Okay, so that's the NFT, but there's also, I mean, you have this physical item behind you. So is that an infinite object?
That is an infinite objects frame, and you can buy the limited edition with an infinite objects frame.
Got it. How big is that particular?
That's 8 by 10. So that's their biggest one. It's about the size of a magazine or book cover.
It's really nice, and it is definitely, I think, if there's just a few hundred of these that are going for sale, they ought to go pretty darn quick.
Not worried at all. Yeah, so much interest, and the proceeds go to the Farrah Fawcett Foundation, which does cancer research, HPV research, and a number of other good things as far as that goes.
So your company more. You have a crypto themed nightclub. Is that correct?
We started a crypto themed nightclub at the Bellagio in 2016. It did not survive COVID. And now we are working on a NFT based lounge in Las Vegas.
See, I mean, you have to love the irony that it's no more, right? I mean, there's just
No more, but more lives on.
yeah.
And actually, it's really interesting because we will have screens from Luma Canvas inside. And if you don't know anything about NFTs, you still come in because it's still a cool upscale Las Vegas lounge. And if you do know about NFTs, if you do know about crypto, it's like your first stop when you go to Las Vegas.
I wish I had a picture. I think one of your team members sent me a picture of the Farrah image on Resorts World. I'm having a hard time finding it. You don't happen to have that handy, do you?
I can send it to you if you like. Yes, on the side of the building, the 100,000 square foot display. Somebody said we should call Guinness Book because that may be the largest display of an NFT ever. And it's 100,000 square feet on the side of the Resorts World building on Las Vegas Boulevard. That's never been done before.
I've heard. I've not been back to Vegas since post COVID, and I understand Resorts World is just an amazing, incredibly huge, massive, a little bit of something for everybody resort.
And really interested in the crypto space. I mean, really interested in NFTs, really interested in accepting crypto. They will end up becoming the crypto destination in Las Vegas. I mean, I've worked with all of the casinos there, and they are the most progressive and welcoming.
I wonder, are any of the casinos taking Bitcoin yet, or are there any Bitcoin related, crypto related slot machines yet?
So they don't take it for gaming. They don't take it for gaming because you'd have to be approved by the Nevada Gaming Commission. Okay. They can take it for other services, spa services, tickets to the shows. We certainly took it at the nightclub that we had at the Bellagio. So it's coming, but it's really slow. I mean, I started in Las Vegas with crypto in 2015, and it's a slow, very slow go. But we're getting there. When you see an NFT on the side of a major strip casino, we're getting there.
Right. Well, and you're definitely making a name for yourself in entertainment. I mean, you've done the Tiger King, you've done Chris Farley stuff, you've done Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita's NFTs, now Farrah.
Audrey Hepburn coming, and I'm advising Megan Thee Stallion on an NFT collection.
Oh, what are the Audrey Hepburn ones going to be? Is it her holding the Breakfast at Tiffany's cigarette?
It is an insane collection that will likely be revealed on Fifth Avenue in New York City next month. I'm working with her son. It's so historical and so interesting to go back through that golden age of Hollywood. And then there's all of these women that are interested in the Audrey Hepburn NFT. Just amazing.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. I love seeing these parts of culture that are brought back, and certainly, something old becoming new again in NFT format. Like, I don't have that poster anymore. That thing, disappeared a long time ago from my wall. And so owning one of these is truly a walk down memory lane once more. Is there anything else you'd like people to know about the project?
Only that it is actually a really female-centric project. I mean, Farrah owned the copyright. When she passed away, she donated it to her foundation. Elise is obviously a prominent female NFT artist, and the proceeds go to the Farrah Foundation. Mm-hmm. So while the guys are going to be the purchasers of it, there's really an interesting end user of the proceeds and the work. So.
Well, I think there'll be women purchasing it as well. I mean, she was a role model for the time, and a lot of women wanted to be her. And so, I think that, and there's going to be some that buy it for their boyfriends or husbands or whatnot. So when is the auction and sale? And how
May 17th.
May 17th, and FarrahNFT.com.
FarrahNFT.com is where it will take place. The auction we're going to actually run in the sports book of Resorts. So I don't think any sports book has ever hosted an NFT auction before. I mean, they've done Christie's, they've done traditional auction houses, but when you do a Vegas sports book and a guy-centric event, it'll be a lot of fun. We have look-alike models coming in red bathing suits and a few celebrities. There's actually a bunch of female celebrities that will announce that they bought the NFT pretty soon or
Nice.
will participate just because she was such an iconic role model. We have a few that said, wow, that's really interesting when they know the story and the use case.
Fantastic. So go bid or pick up one of the limited editions and get an infinite object so that she can infinitely be there for you. Thank you, Farrah, for being there for us infinitely. Peter, thanks so much for coming on and sharing with us today.
That was great. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, there you go, gang. I'm sorry Travis wasn't here for this one because I know he would have some great jokes to bring on as he is traveling right now en route somewhere in the world. But I'm here and we're here for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to wherever it is, ring the bells, tell a friend. And if you get a moment to go review us, especially if you're going to leave 5 stars, we're especially fond of 5-star reviews. It warms the cockles of our hearts. And until the next time, keep it nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.